My name is Alison Ferreyra, and I'm a student at the University of San Francisco. I'm a freshman studying entrepreneurship and innovation. I'm really excited today to be showing you a presentation for the Booke Owens Fellowship. I will be answering prompt number 7. What if a peer had an idea for an aerospace startup? Aerospace startup, to infinity and beyond. Today I will be touching upon some of the big points in progressing, self-reflecting, and of course building a team towards that big startup, that big idea to make your dreams come true. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. This is one of the biggest points I emphasize to all my peers, and particularly those doing business. Because if there's any big time, if there's any perfect time to start somewhere, it's now. Being resourceful, being able to go out there and really look around the world to make plans happen, it really has nothing to do with time and more with taking a step forward in that decision. Project Due.
How's she doing?
This is really about the foundation of yourself as well as the foundation of your business. Building on yourself is building on your business. And one of the biggest points I'd like to point out is networking. Networking is not only about making connections in your behalf, but others making connections on your behalf as well. This includes not just talking to people, but people talking about you and so on. This comes into impressions. First impressions are really important. Being painted in a good light, as well, always making sure to go that extra step for people. It really stays well with people and it makes them remember you. The following point I'd like to point out is self-awareness, being critical of yourself. Being critical about yourself, asking questions about what have I done, where can I change, what can I improve on. And it's just not for yourself. This is, in the long term, going to be a really good skill you can apply anywhere in any aspect of your life, whether it be personal or in your own business. Aerospace, for example, has really big on making mistakes and failures and learning from those mistakes. But of course, we will be going into this a little bit later. Future goals. Breaking down your plans. Big goals are good. Big dreams are good. But if you can't break it down, if you can't really make those dreams come true, making small steps towards that goal will be, in the long run, more beneficial than trying to take those really big steps. Again, I'd really like to emphasize, you're the foundation of your company. You really have to work on yourself, and any peer that I know would encourage to really work on themselves before they begin to work on a big company. The plan. Here's what I will be talking about in the following slides. Design thinking, collecting output, the team, and of course, funding. Design thinking. Here's one of the big concepts that I really like to point out, and I feel is really important. Empathize. If you are solving a problem, once you have an idea, you really have to think about what kind of audience you're talking about, who will this affect, who wants this, who may need it, and who may not need it. Those are really important questions to really ask about where you want to start off. Once you have an idea of who you may impact or who you want your audience to be, you can move on to defining the problem. What exactly are you looking for? What exactly are you trying to do? Where exactly do you want to start? Of course, with this idea, you may not have all the details. I would really recommend going to peers, going to outside sources, and going to anybody who could possibly help you and work through this. It's really great to not just have yourself and be able to push yourself to really think about these ideas, but it's also great to share with people and get feedback. Ideate. Of course, any big idea needs self-development as well. We are developing ideas to make them better, try and avoid setbacks, and of course, one of the biggest things is developing means growing. And growing for ideas is one of the best things that could happen. You could start small and go big, or start big and go even bigger. Prototyping is really setting things into motion, coming up with a way you could somehow implement your idea, or if it's a product, forming out ways to create the product without really investing too much into it. The final step, of course, is testing this out, really going out there and putting it into the world, whether it's a product or an idea, really trying it out with a real audience or a select group of people. Once you've gone to the 5 steps, you may want to go back to the other steps after testing. You may have to go back to the gate or the find, or maybe your product is good and you can move on to the next following step. Building a team. I've decided to give a little bit of a different view on a team because I believe there's 2 different types of team. You're building your technical team, the team that's going to help you build, manufacture, bring the product together, the service to its finest. And these are the people you want for skill searching. I would really recommend also diversity. It would help to have different type of views. I wouldn't recommend being in a room with just people who all think the same as you. Teamwork makes the dream work, and these are the people that are going to be working with you. Be wise about choosing the partners, choosing the people that will be around you during this process. The other is more of a softer team. This is your support team. These are the people that are always going to help you throughout the hard times, and who may not be working towards that aerospace business, but they believe in your dreams and they're going to help you out any way they can. Also, their perspective, because they are not so focused on aerospace, may be really good from bringing outside perspectives into the plan. Collecting output. As you can see below me, there's a survey monkey, because this is all about surveys. This is all about collecting that information and really making sure you've targeted that perfect audience. Once you choose a wider audience, you do have to target certain individuals, those who need it, or maybe it's entertainment. They might not need it, but it may somehow be essential to their daily lives. Getting feedback is really important. Of course, nobody knows how well your product is until they're finally using it. And this is one of the great things about surveys. People actually get to give you feedback, and from here, you're either going to turn back around, and you're going to be able to go back and ideate and use the design thinking process all over again, or you may already be at a point where you are now just avoiding setbacks. Try to analyze the information even more than you already have, and really look into the data, really making sure to understand, and go over everything. I really recommend finding a peer for any data information. It does not even have to be for the aerospace company. It could be for other stuff. Really going over data a couple of times, because the first time going over it once or twice will probably not be enough. And the final step I would like to really emphasize is funding. For this, we start off small and go bigger as the idea grows, as the team grows, as your company grows. You're reaching far, stretching out. This goes back to the networking skills that you picked up throughout the self-development. Anybody you can reach out to, anybody your team members can reach out to is good. People are always willing to help, and mostly if you left those good impressions. Self-investment. This is really important. People will want to invest in you if you invest in yourself. Really going out there, not just to ask people to invest in you, but showing them proof that you're also willing to risk some of your own, not just capital, but effort and work. The following one will be fundraisers. These are really fun. I've done many fundraisers before. I'd be glad to go into much further coordinating for fundraisers. These are great ways to maybe invest some capital throughout the whole event, but eventually get a good return back with a good thought out plan. The following one is sponsors. These are people that really want to help you. You may have met these people before, you know them throughout your whole life. These are successful people who want to help you be successful as well, without much of a trade. They might want you to advertise for them once you're stable, but they may not want to exactly own anything. that leads me on to the following one, which is angel investors. Angel investors will take from 20 to 50% of a company's stock, which we are trying to avoid, but of course, big investments is bigger growth. So eventually you will have to go into these platforms to reach those angel investors and really put yourself out there. Give up a little bit to gain more. Reflection. So now I'm suggesting more self-development. Really reflecting on the growth and changes once you've gone through the process and once you feel like your idea is ready to start. Once you're really ready to start your business, this is when you start reflecting not just yourself, but how much you've grown along with your business. Now you've just won. If you do well, your business will do well. Purpose, I feel is really an important point. Not just because, of course, everybody needs a purpose, but really setting those values and those guidelines you may want to stay with. These are rules that you have to stay true to, with, of course, more power as your business grows. You will have to make decisions, and part of making decisions and being able to talk to yourself and tell yourself, are you willing to take that setback, take that negotiation, take that plan further. Reflection really is about growing even more. And my last advice, and the thing I would probably provide the best for other peers, mostly those going into aerospace, which is a not a brand new, but very recent growing industry, is probably support. Being here for those that are going to start a business is really a great way to help them out. There's going to be challenges, and there just has to be people there for them. It's going to be a long way and a long adventure, but I'm pretty sure that if you start now, and you start with a good spirit, you'll get there. Thank you to the Owens Fellowship Foundation for giving me this opportunity.